Have you ever run Google ads for your gym and thought, these don't work? Well, you're not alone. Many gym owners who come to us say the same thing. But here's the truth. It's not the ads, it's the way you're running them. In the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through step by step how to set up Google local ads that actually generate leads and get paying members on autopilot. And this isn't a theory video or a surface level tutorial. You're about to get a behind the scenes look at a real coaching call from inside our Big Little Gyms Pro group, where our paying clients come every week to get proven strategies and hands-on help to grow their gym. Here's what you're going to see. The exact campaign structure we use to generate predictable leads for gyms. How to laser target your perfect local audience within a 5 to 10 mile radius of your gym. Ad writing shortcuts that attract the right people and repel the wrong ones. And budgeting strategies that prevent you from burning your cash. And most importantly, you'll see how to plug all this into a lead gen machine that we actually build for our clients, the landing pages, the automations, the CRM, all of it. And if you watch to the end, you're going to see what separates the gyms that scale from the ones that stay stuck. So stay with me, let's get into it. We'll talk about Google Ads, and by me presenting this to you guys today, I'm not saying you have to run this, okay? If you've got Google ad or Facebook ads running and they're running well for you, I'm a big fan of iterating on what's already working for you, right? This would be just another traffic channel for you to experiment with or play with. If you feel like you want to test some new things out, that's where this can really fit in. From my experience, Google ads can be hit or miss depending on the gym and the location. But I'll also say that most gym success is hit or miss because of the owner's ability to execute on proper execution, if you will. More often than not, that's really what determines the difference in a campaign. Not so much, it doesn't work for me. It's not that easy. Most advertising campaigns on any platform take some level of iteration, and it isn't a one-shot kill. It's not 2015 anymore. There's not an ads platform out there that you're going to put your money into that, like, and there are exceptions to this. We do have gyms that, like, we run ads for all the time that, like, just because they haven't done anything at all, we go and we launch their ads and they have some success, right? Because they're going from zero to something, right? And for a lot of you guys, that might be your situation. So you might have that kind of success, but also, you know, I'd say the longer the platform's been around, the more competition there is. So the harder you're going to have to work to get your ads to stand out, to get people to click on your ads. It's not as simple as just giving a platform money and just giving you results. I wish it were that easy. And that's kind of how it was. I would say, you know, with Google ads like this, probably a decade ago, my first company was a landscape company here in the Phoenix Valley. And it marketed very much in the same way gyms do. And back then in 2009, 2010, 2011, you could literally, like, a dummy could do it. Like, you just gave Google some money and you just picked like 4 or 5 keywords and you put together like a half-baked ad that was like, you know, do you want to do X? Click here. And like people did. And that's because you have to understand that, like, at the time, like, there wasn't a lot of competition, So like if you were on the platform then, you were one of only like 5 companies doing what you were doing in your area. And it was really just a game of who could spend more and would get the most clicks, right? So we were able to grow our landscaping company like $5 million a year within like 3 years from zero, literally like no book of business, never done it before. First job started out of my garage to like 3 years later, $5 million company. In year 4, we did $5 million, right? And it was on Google ads that costed nickels, right? Now you could say, oh, I'm lucky. It's like, also at the same time, you all were alive. A lot of people were alive and didn't do it, right? So you have to take a risk, right? You have to take a risk at a time when people think it's not, you know, back then people were like, oh, they weren't sure advertising on the internet was the thing, right? There's risk there. And I'll say there'll be another day when a platform comes along like that again. And most people are going to sit on their hands and not take the opportunity to try to learn the platform and take advantage of it while it's cheap. And they'll jump on the bandwagon late, 10 years too late. And they'll have to pay a lot more money to have the same learning curve, right? So I guess the lesson there is, like, understanding that advertising is not a static thing. It is a constantly moving target. And then whenever I give you these things, it's for you to go and test and find out what works for you and to start your process of figuring out what's going to work. Because ultimately, for you guys to hit whatever level of success you have in your business, you're probably going to have to advertise it at some point. Organic is amazing and it will get you very, very far. And the harder you work at organic, the more it will keep giving, but it is like your base, it is like your foundation. And for most people with very, very humble goals, it's probably enough. For the gym owner that wants to make 50, 80K a year, you can probably, you know, if you have your gym on the right, you know, if you have your gym in the right market, on the right corner, organic can get you there. But if your gym's a little bit harder to find, it's a little bit out of the way, you find that people don't just naturally seek you out because of whatever the scenario is. Paid ads become your ally because now you can basically force yourself in front of them, right? One way or another, you're going to pay, whether it be in like time or in money, right? Or in effort, right? One of those 3 things. So, you know, with ads, I would say it's very much in a place, especially with Google ads, we're going to talk about today. It's in a place of like, money, because you got to give the platform money to show your ads to people ahead of your competitors, but also time and effort in regards to, like, it's not set it and forget it. You put it up, you go back, you check the data, you look and see what's working. And it's a skill set that that's foreign to some people, especially gym owners, because they're not, you guys didn't start a gym to necessarily become ads managers. You started a gym because you like coaching fitness, right? But the basic skill sets of any good business person outside of what your niche is, whether it be gyms or something else, is learning to market your business, right? Now, yeah, you lean on experts to give you guidance. You lean on, sometimes you use marketing agencies and all that good stuff. But at a base level, you should also understand how to do it yourself before you ask anybody else how to do it, right? That's the biggest reason I see gym owners not have success when they run ads, especially like, when I've seen new gym owners come on our program and run ads. They have no idea how to do it themselves. They don't know what it's like to do it. They've never had any success doing it. And then they want us to run the ads. And then when they get the result and they realize like, oh, this is not the same as organic traffic, they take issue with it. It's like, well, there is no free lunch. The free lunch would have been to go back in 2015 and run Facebook ads then or Google ads in 2010 when you didn't have to be good at it. Right. But if you understand the way it works, when you go to delegate it to someone, just like coaching the classes at your gym, you would never just like open your gym. And if you really cared about the fitness you're providing, you would never just like hire someone and be like, okay, go coach classes however you want. Right. You would never do that. Even if they came into your gym saying that they've coached for a decade, you would still be like, okay, like there's a process here. We do it a certain way. Right. It's the same when you delegate anything else. Right. So that's why I teach you guys this stuff, because, maybe you do decide like, hey, I don't want to be knee deep in the advertising stuff, but you should have some experience with these platforms enough and some level of success enough to where if you ever did delegate it to someone else on your team or an agency, or you want us to do it or whatever the case might be, that like you understand what it takes. So that way you're not a difficult customer more than anything, right? And so you're not a difficult customer, because otherwise like nothing's ever going to work for you if, it's like another good analogy is like I've been building this house and it's like, because I've done most jobs in a house, I'm like actually a really good customer for the contractors. I'm like, I rarely give them a hard time if something doesn't go perfectly, because I understand what it's like to hang drywall. I did it for 2 summers growing up in Michigan. Did finished basements. So we did framing, we did drywall, we did all of it. I used to sand the drywall. I'm breathing in all that dust. So like when I would come in and see the guys sand the drywall, like I would be like, hey, can I get you guys lunch? Like I'd always make sure that they knew that I appreciated their hard work, because I'm not just paying them money, but I also understand that there's, what they're doing is hard work, right? So, and what that resulted in is me getting better work out of them, because they went the extra mile for me, because they knew I appreciated what they were dealing with, and it was a pleasure to work together on the project, right? So it's the same with anything else. Okay, so now that I've kind of set it up to give you an idea of like what to expect and expectations and kind of like why I'm teaching you guys this stuff, let's dive into what it is and how we do it. Okay, so Google Business Profile is the thing that I always have you guys working on organically, that you guys should already be doing right now. If you're going to run Google ads and you haven't put in the legwork on your Google Business Profile, guess what? Your Google ads are going to suck more. Okay. They're going to be way worse than someone who's done a really, really good job on the Google Business Profile. The reason why is because your Google ads can and will use your Google Business Profile. When you go do a Google Maps search for a pizza place and the couple pop up at the top of the search on the Maps platform, which I'll just screen share for you guys. Let's just run through some anecdote here to kind of explain why the organic part is still super, super important. It's a baseline for everything, is having good, strong organic. So let's just screen share here. You guys can see my super cool screen saver. And if I just go like pizza near me, okay, right up at the top is a sponsored listing, right? These are Google ads, right? And if I go down, you're also going to see the map pack right here, okay? Now, the map pack is the most powerful place you can be showing up in, right? People kind of skim over these days, but they still do work. If you have a good ad that gets people's attention and it's at the top, naturally, you're going to get a lot of clicks. Even if people are pretty like skeptical about clicking the sponsored ads, they do work. We've been running sponsored ads here at BLG to the tune of about $15,000 a month for the last 2 years. And we do get an ROI on it, right? We make money on those ads, right? So they absolutely still work. Don't let anybody tell you, or even yourself tell you, that no one clicks on those sponsored ads, because people absolutely do, right? It just matters how good your ad is. And you can see in these ads, like they've got the images in the ads. It just helps kind of get your attention. This ad really gets my attention. Free large pizza, ? Order $7.99, right? They got an offer right there in the ad. These guys are like original flavored crust. They're kind of appealing more to like your senses, right? Grimaldi's Pizzeria, dine in and order online, snooze, right? Probably, if I know Grimaldi's locally, they're more of a local joint. Definitely better pizza, would probably click this one. But if I didn't know the difference, like these two ads, here appeal to my senses and appeal to my pocket, right? So like that's, understanding what gets people to click is important. And then down here again, this is the map listing, and you can guys get here organically. And I want to reiterate how important this is. What we give you guys in the school group right here, for those of you that are new and those that have been around, maybe are just snoozing on this or don't take it seriously enough. You go to the school group, you go to classroom, and you go to the accelerator. Right here, 2-3x lead gen with a local organic search. That is not a clickbait headline. That is 100% real. If you do the things in this video and you come back to the well, and if you forgot what they were, come back and watch the video again. There's a download right here you can make a copy of, and you just go through this checklist. I would say monthly, at very worst quarterly, and just really stay on top of it and really learn to love optimizing your Google business listing as part of your regular flow. You can find yourself in this top 3, and you can get almost as much click traffic as all these people are paying for up here at the top, here in this top organic spot. So you can see Grimaldi's here has the top organic spot. Now, what do we notice about it? It's got 3.2K reviews, 3,200 reviews, right? They've even put like their price ranging on here. The reviews are obviously averaging out pretty good. They put coal-fired pizzas in the casual space as part of their description there. If I click on it, what does it show me? They've got 1,369 photos. They got menu highlights. I mean, they're a very full and optimized profile. They got their questions and answers filled out. And there's only, let's see here, cancel. Let's see what else there is. There's 21 questions in here. It's something we show you how to do in the Google Business Profile optimization thing here, is have people go ask questions about your business, have them tee them up so you can go and answer them. That completes the profile and gives more content to Google, right? It's got hours, reviews. I bet you they respond to their reviews. Yep, look at that. Busy pizza shop with thousands of people a week going into their business, responds to every one of them all the time, right? So your business with like maybe 100 people coming into it every week, you definitely can keep up, right? Okay, so there's that. The reason why I review this stuff is like, if you do this well and do it consistently, you might not even need Google Ads. And ideally, that's my wish for you, is that you can get the clicks and leads that you need without running ads, not having to pay for it. And even if you choose to, you would only do it because you're trying to scale up higher, right? Because I will say, like, organic has its limits. You will get to a certain point with organic, because organic, generally, you're kind of counting on the local market to provide. So you're counting on people to be searching for your what you sell, right? And at any given time, only so many people are searching for it. So you have a limit there. Eventually, at some point, you need to go out and like tell people about your stuff, right? You need to like interrupt people in the scroll and the feed. And that's actually where Facebook is really, really good, right? Facebook interrupts people in their scroll, right? People that weren't thinking about it, weren't searching for a gym or a pizza place. They're scrolling in their feed and there pops up an ad, right? That's why we give you the Paid-Ganic approach. It's super, super cheap for a couple dollars a day. And I'm going to show you guys where that's at. So we always have some new gyms in here that need to be pointed around. Same for you guys that have been here a while that maybe need to be reminded. The Paid-Ganic approach, if you just type in Paid-Ganic, you get multiple videos on this. Every year I've reviewed this in a coaching call. And then also, let's see, pro group. Where's our post on it? There's a post on it in the community side here. There's also a video I posted. You find it there, right here, $2 a day Paid-Ganic gym growth strategy, right? What that does is that gets more people to just like just reminded that you exist, right? Like people aren't even looking for you. It's just a billboard, right? All the time. And you're just constantly touching people who are seeing and not seeing your stuff. I actually want to say I reviewed this a couple of weeks ago. I did the Paid-Ganic, but with retargeting just a couple of weeks ago. If you want to like make sure people that do click on your Google ad that land on your website that don't convert now basically are berated with your ads, you'd run the strategy that I talked about. I believe it's this one. Right. Yeah, here, 520, right here, 520 organic page strategy. I'm going to put a link for this in the chat for you guys, so you guys don't have to go looking for it. And I highly recommend reviewing this. Okay. There. And this is something you guys should all run. It's super cheap. And they're basically like $2 to $5 a day awareness ads that just make it so like when someone lands on your website or does anything and interacts with you anywhere, as long as they get cookied by Facebook's pixel, which is very easy to get them to do, when they go back to Facebook or go back to any meta platform, which includes Instagram, which everybody's on these days, or Facebook, which still a lot of people are on these days. Age wise, probably more people that are demographics in most gyms are probably on Facebook, but it's starting to blur. Instagram's getting older. So the age demographics are ticking up on that too. More people in their 30s are on Instagram. So, um, it makes it so like they're going to see you everywhere, right? After they've clicked on your ad. It's a multi-pronged approach, right? Because what's happening is they're hitting you at, you're showing up in the local search when they type in gym near me, they click on you, they go to your site, they click on three others, then they go back to scrolling on Instagram because they're bored sitting on the toilet at work. And what do they see? They see your ad and they're like, oh yeah, that gym, right? And they see another ad from you, and then they see another ad from you, and they see like three or four ads for you. And after a while, they start to put together the pieces of what your business is about, and they start to develop like, some awareness for you, like consciously in their mind, not subconsciously where it's tucked away, right? Because we see stuff all the time, every day. I mean, how many things do we? It's not like we drive past every tree on the street and like take note of every one of them and later on recall how many trees we passed. You may have driven past a certain tree on a certain street in your neighborhood every single day in the last 2 years, and if I asked you about it, you wouldn't be able to tell me about it, right? That's what happens to most people's ads, right? Is that like they see your ad, they forget about it, right? But when they start to see you on multiple channels, multiple ways, with multiple different styles and types of engagement, they start to recall you consciously, right? So when that tree that you drive past all the time blooms pretty flowers for the first time in a year, you're like, oh wow, that tree's so beautiful. In fact, that happened to me the other day, where like a street we drive down all the time had grown these beautiful flowers. And like I didn't even acknowledge that tree had existed just like a week prior. I didn't even know that tree existed. So I took a picture of it and I was like, let's Google photo of that thing later to see what kind of tree that is, because I want one of those in my yard, because when they bloom, they're beautiful. But otherwise I haven't seen it, right? So again, just awareness. The bigger takeaway here I'm getting at is like, it's not a one-shot kill. None of this is a one-shot kill. All these strategies we give you guys, they're meant to kind of work in concert, right? They're meant to kind of work together to ultimately lead to more outcomes that you guys want, right? Okay, so let's get into the Google ad itself here. Now I've got pulled up here. I'm actually using Boz's profile here, Barry Boswell, CrossFit diehard here, Daytona Beach. And I believe he does actively run some Google ads. We'll just snoop around his campaign a little bit and see what he's got going on. Looks like he's got an active campaign going as we speak right now. Let's see what he's got happening in here. He's got an awareness campaign and a performance max campaign. Looks like he's running both. He's spent about $759 on there. He's getting on the awareness campaign about almost 6% interaction rate. So he's running less budget on that for sure. He's running only $157 on that in the last 2 weeks, and he's got 58 clicks on it at an average cost of $272. So that's pretty solid. He's running performance max as well, which we'll talk about the difference between those. And again, this is not like you got to try these both, because there's some gym owners, like you talk to Jerry Trubman, he's going to tell you performance max all day. I already know he's going to beat that drum because that's what he runs and it works. But then we've had gyms run performance max and totally bomb with it and not get anything. I've run performance max for my business and it did not work for me at all. That's not saying Jerry's wrong. It's just saying that different businesses are going to need different strategies, because it really does depend on your market. And if you're living in the middle of a very population dense urban area, the click volume might be so high that performance max just eats up your budget before it gets you any quality leads, right? You might do better with more of a manual approach to targeting your ads versus performance max, right? But we'll go over the options so you guys can play with them, right? You can see for not a lot of money here, Boz is getting a lot of clicks, 372 clicks. He's got his conversions set up and it looks like he's got 69 conversions over this period of time. I wonder if that's accurate. I wonder what he's got set in here as a conversion. Let's go ahead and take a look. We can go in here and click segment. We can click conversions. We have conversion action. Let's see what it's calling okay, it's just a page view. And it's actually looks like it's his about page. That's interesting. I would almost wonder if all these conversions are coming from his about page. So I want to click on his ads and see what he's got set as okay, he's got no ads because he's running performance max. That's right. Okay, so it looks like performance max, what it's doing is sending all that conversion traffic to his about page, which is not what he probably wants. So in this case situation, he's got an improperly optimized campaign, right? So I would tell Boz, and looking at this, like to not continue running this, because it looks like the conversion data he's getting is going to a page that probably doesn't lead to very much conversion. Or to pull up this CrossFitDiehard.com about page. Let's see what it is. Okay, so it's this page right here. Now can be the issue with Performance Max, is Performance Max doesn't allow you to set up the ad to tell it what page to send it to. Performance Max pretty much reads your website, reads your content, and it decides where it's going to send the traffic based on where it thinks it's going to get the maximum conversions. Now, in this situation, it's obviously like optimizing for the About Us page. It's got that as conversion. So I actually want to take a look real quick at his conversions. Let's take a look at his conversions. I'm going to walk you guys through how to set all this up for yourselves. I'm just like really quickly looking at what we're looking at here so we can see what kind of information we're working with. Okay, so we have here page view. So he's got his About Us page as a conversion action, and that's probably why Performance Max is optimizing for that. I don't know why he's got his About Us page as a conversion. Right now, conversion is, that's telling Google, this is where I want you to send traffic to, ultimately get traffic to, and it will optimize every visitor to go to that page, right? And it will keep mining down into the lowest bottom of the barrel traffic it can get to get you clicks from that place. If you tell them to send us an About Us page, which generally, we don't by default build About Us pages on your guys' websites. I'm guessing Boz wanted us to add this. We can if you guys request it. The reason why we don't like them on your website is because this is what happens when people go to About Us pages, they don't convert. Very rarely is anybody going to opt in because of your About Us page. Okay, Jerry's got his hand up. Jerry, what's up? We got to keep it short, by the way.
I just want to echo what you said. He definitely, Performance Max does allow you to create custom ads and create those conversions. You can also assign values to certain conversions. So for example, my get started and book a free coaching call converts at a much higher rate than my pricing form. So I have that set. I have a higher value assigned to those two and a lower value assigned to pricing. And then the other things like page views and whatnot, I have down at 0. So that's a really simple adjustment inside the app.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is just an example of a campaign that doesn't look like it's set up properly. And so hopefully Boz will watch this video. Maybe we should tag him, Jerry, and let him know that his campaign is burning up his dollars. Because this is what can happen, guys, if you don't do things the right way, is you'll tell Google to send traffic to a page that doesn't matter. Ultimately, where you want people to go, actually, let's just take a poll and see how sharp you guys are today. What page on your website, if someone landed on it, would indicate to you that like you got a lead? What page would they land on? Just put in the chat. Don't just put in the chat. What page would it be on your website? Okay, intro to book page. Perfect. Yeah, exactly. The intro to book page. Yeah, book an appointment is best. Exactly. If they land, because the only way they get to this /intro page on your website, because there's no other way to get for this page on your website. There's nothing in the menu that will get them there. There's nothing. We purposely leave this page out of menus because the only way they get there is by filling out one of the forms on your website, one of the other forms on your website, right? So if I go to Boz's site and I click Get Started, and I put in a test lead here. Okay. Okay. I just click this and I just type some stuff. When I click submit, this should take me to intro page, right? Same thing with the pricing form. If someone fills it out, they're going here, right? So like if I were going to tell Google, hey, I want people to get to this page, and there's only one way for them to get to this page, that's for them to fill out a form. What do you think Google's going to do? It's going to ideally optimize traffic to have people fill out that form on the first page, right? Because it can sitemap your website when you give them your website, and it knows, okay, the only way to this page is through these forms, right? So you never want to tell Google to send traffic to your About Us page like Boz has in this. And this is good. I'm glad we actually stumbled upon this because it's a good, I guess, going in, it will help you guys understand how, I'm typing About Us, not about, help you guys understand how important setting up the conversion step is, because this page here doesn't even have, it has at the bottom buttons. This is why we don't like doing About Us pages. I know some gyms are very, very proud of telling their story and having their team on it. But to be honest with you, it's just wallpaper for most people. Like they don't care. It doesn't mean, I'm not saying your stories aren't important, your team isn't important, and that you don't have reason to be proud of them. But like, it's almost a page you just shouldn't have on your website because no one cares. It's not 2012 anymore. People don't spend 2 minutes on a website anymore. People spend about 18 seconds on websites. So that's why when they get to your homepage, we put the button right there. And we put a button right on the first scroll. And then we put a button right below the next scroll. And we put a button next to the next scroll. It's because like if we make them work hard to get to this form, they never fill it out. They just leave because people, what they're doing as soon as they click your website, they're counting. I mean, they're not physically counting, but their brain is like, okay, like make it easy for me, right? And if your stuff's super clunky, then like they're not going to get there, right? So ideally, just send the traffic to this page or a landing page that's optimized, like a funnel landing page that's optimized for conversion, right? Now your website already is optimized for conversion, so this is actually enough. But if you did want to run the traffic to a specific offer, if the ads were for a specific offer, then you want to build a page around that specific offer, which does take a bit more work. We're not going to do that in today's video. I'm just going to do general traffic like to your homepage. Because again, for most people searching for gyms near me, this is perfect. This is going to do a good enough job here. Okay. All right, cool. So first thing we need to do, we're already on the conversions page. Well, let's start back at your Google business profile. You're going to need to go to ads.google.com. So just where I started, ads.google.com. And when you get there, you can click sign in. And when you get here, if you only have one Google Ads account, which you likely do, it'll just take you to it. If you don't have one, you're going to need to set one up. If you have one, if you have multiple, you'll have to select the right one. All right, I'm going to click Bosses here. And it's going to open up your dashboard. And the first place we want to go is to goals and set up that conversion, right? Because we want to basically tell Google, hey, this is where I want traffic to go. And that's what it's going to count. When it gives you results on the data here, it's where it's going to go. Okay, so we're going to go conversions here. We're going to go summary. And then right here, conversion action, we're going to create a new conversion action, okay? And we're just going to go website, and then you're going to put in your website domain. So for him, it's CrossFit diehard.com. And again, where we want to measure conversions from, it says right here, enter URL for the website you want to measure your conversions. So the specific page, which for him is that intro page. We want to know when someone gets to this intro page, that's what we want Google to optimize for. Because again, the only way they get to this page is by filling out a form on the site. So it means we have a lead. Now, it doesn't matter. I mean, you could set up another conversion for when they get to your confirmed page. And that's like, that means they filled out a lead and they booked. But I wouldn't run my campaign on this only because like what you really want is the leads, because a lot of your leads you're gonna book through follow up, right? So I wouldn't, this will just make it harder to show Google results. We want at least a little bit of traffic on it. So we're going to go /intro. It's going to go scan. And it says this website domain is linked to a Google Analytics account. That's good. It's not linked. You can link it. We actually set up Google Analytics for you guys on your websites. So it should show up as that. You don't need to click measure in Google Analytics. Just leave that. And then right here, conversion goal is going to be, you could do a form, but I actually just like to go off a page view. It's the easiest way to do it. And it's when that page loads, and it is /intro right there. Okay, so it's, oh, I messed up. Okay, so we got to go back up here, get rid of intro there, scan, yes, start over. There we go. Okay, there we go. That way it's not, if you have intro up here and intro down there, it's going to say intro, and it's going to break the link. So page view is a page load of the intro page, and we're going to click add. Okay. And then create conversion actually mainly using code. We're not going to do that because we're not, it's if you're like doing like an app or something like that. Click save and continue and finish. Now, if you haven't put the Google right there, if it can't find your page, it might ask you to put your Google, what's it called? Your Google, they don't call it a pixel, but more or less the code. So we're going to go, and it'll ask you to do that. Now, in order to do that, it needs to be put on your website. And if that happens, and you need to put your Google business, your Google tracking code, so you can track your conversions, you'll want to submit a support ticket to us. And how you do that is you want to go support.biglittlegyms.com/help. Okay. And you'll want to go down here, put all your information in, and put here, you can put other, and then just put, I need you to add my Google tracking code to all pages of my website. And here is my code. Okay. And then you're going to want to paste that code right there. Okay. Now, how you get that code, if it doesn't automatically give it to you, this might take me a second here, so bear with me. I click lead form. I'm going to go to settings, and I believe down here, and bear with me for you guys that know this already. I just want to show everybody right here. Okay, that was it. Enhanced conversions, Google Tag Manager, view instructions. I believe, no, they make it harder and harder to get this tag. Basically, you need to set up the tag, Google Tags. Yeah. Okay, so that might take me a little longer to figure out here, guys. If anybody off the top of their head can recall how to quickly get the tag. Jared, do you know how to get the tag real quick? I know you're very hands-on with your Google.
Hey, sorry, dude. I saw something shiny. Can you ask that question again?
Do you know how to quickly get the Google tag for them, just to show them where to find it? If
Yeah, you have to click the option that says install the tag yourself. I'm not sure exactly where you are right now.
Yeah, it is tricky. They kind of make it difficult to, and every time I'm trying to show someone this, they change it. So
give me one quick second. I'll find it. I'll unmute myself as soon as.
Okay. Actually, I just switched. Okay, well, we can try this, guys, real quick. If you drop this down here and click tag and then tag details, here it might give you your tag. Add a snippet to your website. That's what we're trying to find. Code. Yeah, see, they make it very difficult here, and we might need to do a follow video. Maybe Jerry will find it out for us. But we'll keep moving here, and we'll come back to it. This happens every time I try to do a video. There's always some step that's not clear because I sign in to go and do this, and it's not right there in front of me, and they make it difficult. And also, if you're watching this video and for some reason you don't get an answer and you're watching the recording or you're watching this now, I want to come back to it later and want the answer. What I can do is put a follow-up video in the school group that is searchable for you guys to find out. But generally, when you're walking through it, if you guys don't have the tag set up, it's gonna offer you the tag. It's just trickier after you're through the setup stuff like this to find it after. But in the setup where I just was, it will say like, "Here's your tag. Go put this on your website." And it'll ask you, "Do you want to email this to your webmaster? Do you want to copy and paste the tag?" What you do is you copy the tag and send it to us in the support ticket I just gave you. Cool. Jerry, let me know if you found it. Otherwise, I'll keep moving along. But usually here when you click tag details, it will give you the data. And this might be working. This might be showing up this way because we're using his Google Analytics data as his tagging feature in this particular one. So this can get a little clunky. I apologize if I lost some of you guys there, but let's bring it back together. We just want to make sure we get that conversion set up like I just did, where that intro page is the page you're measuring the conversions from. Which when you go to convert goals, conversion summary, and you scroll down, you should see it right here under, not see it, submit lead form, but under page view. You'll now see website visits, or in this case right here, page view there, right? It shows inactive. Now, the reason why it shows inactive is because we need to go visit the page to get it working. So we're going to go to his page now that we know that it's set up, okay, to activate that conversion. And it might not show right away. There we go. Okay, so I loaded the page. When you load the page, you can use this tool here called the Google Tag Assistant, and it will basically like let you know what tags I've loaded. So you can see I found these tags. And this is a Chrome extension. If you guys wanted to get fancy with it, you don't have to. But you want to go visit the page afterwards just to fire off that conversion. And when you do, and we go back to the conversions here, normally this right here, it says inactive, will update and show active. It can have a delay though, and sometimes it may not update the same day even. I've noticed it sometimes these, yeah, see, it still shows inactive even though we just loaded the page and verified the tag is loading. So that might update later today. I would say if you, you can see right here, it takes up to 3 hours. So after like 5 or 6 hours, if you notice this is still inactive, that's where you're going to want to probably try to troubleshoot it. But if you just did what I did, it's going to work. I've done this hundreds of times and that will work. And it should, as long as you have that tracking pixel on your website, right? So anywho, all right, now that we got that done, we can go ahead and build a campaign. So we're going to go back to campaigns and we're going to go launch a new campaign. And we're going to do this a couple different ways, guys. I'm going to walk you through the Performance Max version. And I'm going to walk you through just a regular manually optimized campaign. Okay. So first off, you can do what's called local visits and promotions down here. This is going to drive visits to local stores, including restaurants and dealerships. If you click this, Your only option is going to be to run a Performance Max campaign, right? Now, when you do this, it pretty much only goes off of your Google Business Profile's optimized actions. So your clicks to call, or in this situation here, if they click for directions, right? So those are your conversion actions. It's going to base the campaign off of. Now, it doesn't mean you're going to get leads. It means you're going to get clicks to call, and it means you're going to get clicks for directions. You might get a ton of clicks to call and clicks to directions and not receive a single actual call. You might also not get a single actual lead, right? So you can try this and see if it works for you. If you start running and start noticing, oh, we are getting calls and we are getting more people showing up at our gym, then fantastic, right? But there's a bit of an unknown there because you can't optimize for the intro page like we just built, right? You can only optimize for these things that are Google hosted, right? They're basically using the Google Business Profile to optimize for actions, right? Now, when you go down here, you're going to want to select your location. Now, this is where you're going to want to make sure you add your location, right? You're going to have to link your Google Business Profile with your Google Ads account. And then you'll have to create a new location group. And then right here, click your location and name the group. And we'll call it Die Hard 4. And we'll click create, right? There we go. And you're going to want to click, let's see here.
Hey, Will, I found it finally.
You found it. Okay, cool. So quick pause while we're setting this up. Actually, let me finish this real quick.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Actually, let's go ahead. We'll finish this up real quick, and then we'll come back to Jerry for the conversion. Here, okay? So local stores and visits, Performance Max. And again, this is just one way you can run these ads. I'm not saying this is the best way, but if you want to boost your Google Business Profile and just get it to show up at the top more, that's what this would do. But it's not necessarily going to go off conversions that are lead driven. They are based off of like click driven conversions. You'll click your location and you'll put your website in this situation. It'd be CrossFitDieHard.com because you just want them to go to the home page, right? We want them to go to the home page, and then we want to measure for if they get to the intro page. Then we're going to click continue. We're going to name the campaign, and we call this CrossFit CF Diehard. And we'll just go, yeah, you want to make sure you put like Performance Max in there. We'll go local. So just something like that so you know what it is. And then click continue. And you want to focus on conversions, okay? And you want to set, you can set the target cost per action. This is, again, it says optional here. I usually don't set this for a campaign until I have an idea of what conversions are coming in at, right? If I run a campaign for a while and I'm getting $50 leads on average, I might come and adjust this and set it for like 35 or 40, see if I can bring that cost down, or I might just set it for 50 and try to keep it around the same. But generally when it's a new campaign, because I don't know what actions are going to cost me, what you don't want to do is put like $3 here. People are like, oh, I want the lowest possible, so let's put like 1 penny. But it's gonna tell Google like, hey, just get me conversions at any cost, regardless of the quality. And ideally, you guys want quality leads. So you don't want to just put this as low as you can get it. You want to put it at some sort of optimal number that is a fair price, but you don't know what that is, so just leave it off, okay? It's going to try to tell you to do it. I've had more success not doing it early on, right? Now, bid for new customers only. Your campaign will only be limited to new customers regardless of your bid strategy. I usually leave this off. Again, this is one of these like AI-driven optimizations Google has that like sounds like a good thing, but generally it tends to crunch down your audience. Generally, from anybody who knows who's a member of your gym already knows how to contact you through your app, your member management app or other ways. They're likely not going to go through your website, right? So we don't really want to like X-nay anybody that Google thinks is a new customer or not a new customer that potentially is, right? So click next. Languages, put whatever languages are important to you here. English for most of you guys, but I know some of you guys are in Spanish-speaking areas. That can work too. Start and end dates. Generally, this would be something you leave on in perpetuity until you decide to turn it off manually, but you can put an end date if you want. Problem is, if you forget, it's running well and you forget and it shuts off, you're turning off the spigot, basically. Campaign URL options here. This is for putting like tracking parameters like UTMs in here. If you guys are super fancy and want to get UTMs, if you don't know what UTM means, just move on to the next step. Don't need it, right? It really would be, what this would allow you to do if you did start using UTMs, would allow you to use the tracking tools inside Gymnetics to better track like what keywords. So if you want, okay, real quick tutorial on this, because some of you guys are advanced. Let me just show you this, I guess, since I'm on it. New chat. Okay, go to ChatGPT and say, give me a tracking UTM suffix for my Google Ads. And what this is this gives you a suffix that goes on the end of your URL that helps you track the keyword that they clicked, the campaign they clicked, all like outside of the Google Ads platform, right? It basically is like a tracking URL. So if I go here, where's it at? Put it, it's right here. Okay. And I put this URL suffix there. You can see it's got these words, there's like keyword in brackets here, keyword, and then ad group. And then Gymnetics, for example, has the ability in its attribution thing to like read this and say, okay, the UTM term was this, and it will later on, you can actually track like what campaign and what keyword they came from. Like it'll be linked to their profile, right? So campaign here, you put the campaign, and where it says equals, you'd put like CF Die Hard PMax ads, like that. Okay. So for those of you guys that are fancy and want to get super fancy and start getting into like hardcore tracking, that's what you'd use. I'll put the let me put that UTM in the comments for you guys, so you guys have it. For campaign, make it a variable. Sorry, it basically filled this in with BLG ads on there, and I don't want to give that to you guys that way. There we go, campaign ID. Okay, so this is the suffix you would add in there if you want to get more advanced with your tracking, okay? Cool. All right, sweet. All right, keep it on moving. Now that we've added a little bit of value for the advanced guys and gals. We keep going. Page feeds to your ad. Actually, don't even know what that is. Must be something newer. Devices. It'll show on computers, mobile phones, tablets, and TV screens. You probably could get rid of TV screens, and you probably can get rid of tablets because, again, you're only spending so much money per day. You don't want to liquidate that cost across platforms that aren't going to get actual clicks where people can convert, right? On their TV, it's not like they can fill out a form. So like TV screen ads shouldn't show up, right? We want mobile phones and computers primarily. If anything, 85% of the traffic is going to go from mobile anyways. And then here, if you want to target it on age, you can do that. Otherwise, click next. Okay. Now, these settings are all going to be the same on all the ad campaigns, so we'll whiz through those in the future. Now, this is asset generation. This is only for the Performance Max campaigns, right? It's going to ask you to put your URL in here, and it's going to basically read your website and basically say, like, this is what these guys are about. What are your products? Make sure all your products are listed here. The wider you go, the more it's going to spread your ad out. So I would not think wide here. I would think narrow. If you only have a limited budget every day to spend, you don't want to pick like 7 things. You want to pick like the 1 or 2 most important things and make sure that money's spent on just those things. You don't want to put here like, yeah, say you're a group training gym, but you offer personal training, but you're only going to spend $30 per day. You probably don't want to put personal training here, even though like you're like, yeah, we do sell personal training. But the thing is, it's going to take focus away from the clicks of the core thing, which is probably more memberships and fitness classes. If you are a personal training gym, then it's going to be the inverse, right? You're going to want to get rid of classes and make sure personal training is what's in here, right? Very specific. If you have a huge budget and you're spending $1,000 a day, then I would put a whole bunch of stuff in here and I would look at the data to see what got you the most clicks, right? Now it says select pages to enhance images from, because it's going to pull images from these different places to enhance your ad, because it's going to make the ad for you, right? So your Instagram profile, your Facebook profile, and your website, right? Anywhere else you want to do that, you can click generate assets. And it's going to basically say, this is what we found. And you're going to say, I'm going to put test on this. So Boz knows this is test. Business name, CrossFit Die Hard, remove any images that don't have to do with your business per se, add ones that do. It's got some logos already. Down here, this is your actual ad and your headlines, right? So, I would try to make these unique and different. And earlier when we were looking at the pizza example, remember that like what's sexy is going to get them to click, right? And what I mean by that is like saving money, sexy, right? large free order, large pizza, $7.99, right? You guys know I'm not a big fan of discount offers, but that's something that can work for some people. It'll get clicks at least, or appealing to the senses, right? Twisting the knife, pain always helps, right? But just sticking your gym name in there, you know, um, is probably not what you want to do. You want to put something in the headline that is like how to get X by Y without having to do Z, right? Like how to, lose 20 pounds in 6 weeks without having to cut carbs, right? Like obviously that's one that can be cringe for some of you guys. I know, don't use that one then, right? Think of something else, right? Is what you want to stick here, but you want to be a little sexy here. So you might go in here and like just clean, make these headlines a little sexier, right? Like, and you can go to ChatGPT and be like, yo, I need some super sexy, clickable ad headlines or my Google Performance Max ad campaign. We're limited to 30 characters. Yeah. We are limited to 30 characters. Use pattern interrupts if necessary. Boom. We click that. Let's see what it comes up with. Here's a punchy batch of 30 max character. Okay. It's thinking, okay, I need that. This thing I'm talking about BLG. I need those for Jim's ads. Okay. I forget that ChatGPT can look at all your stuff now. No. Stop it. No. As if I am the gym getting gym members. Get fit, feel amazing. Try us for free this week, right? Stronger in 30 days, real results fast. Join the fit side. I don't think emojis will work, so you might have to ignore those. But yeah, here's a bunch. Still paying to not go. That's funny. Tired of the same gym. This ain't Planet Fitness, right? I don't know if you can use Planet Fitness. Your ads can get blocked for using copyright protected terms, so be careful with that. Specific offer driven right here. So here's some offer driven ones, right? If you want to, numbers tend to get the eyes. So 30 days all in, 0 down, full access. And important, it's something to remember here, guys. I'm not saying be shady and say things you're not going to do, but know that like 99% of people aren't going to remember what they clicked on, right? So if you put 0 down, full access here, it's unlikely to ever show up in your gym and be like, what's 0 down about? Like they're not even going to remember. Like they're just going to be like, it just got their attention, right? Because it's like 0 down on what? Like we, you know what I mean? Like it's just kind of, I don't know. Not saying to do that, but like test it, see if it gets clicks, and see how many people actually even mention it. At the end of the day, the goal is to get them to opt in and then take it from there, right? So don't do anything like unethical, but know that like people, most of what you put here, they're not going to actually remember. So it's just whatever gets them to click. These are your long headlines, which go in the second line, right? And you can tell them, hey, I need some long headlines that are up to 90 characters. I need some long headlines that are up to 90 characters. It'll give you a bunch, right? Yeah, these are great. Scottsdale locals losing 15 pounds in 6 weeks, see if qualify, right? Cool. Bunch of ideas. Pick what you want from them, right? The great thing about AI is you don't need to sit down with a notepad and brainstorm 50 headlines to try to, and then test them all. You can like literally ask ChatGPT to do it in like 2 minutes, right? So use those tools, be an efficient human in 2025. Descriptions, same thing. Be like, hey, I got 90 characters. Give me some descriptions. Images. You can select all the images you want out of here. Pick the ones that stand out to you, right? Anything that looks like camouflage is probably going to look like camouflage. This one kind of stands out a little bit for me. Right there, this one kind of stands out. American flag one is always going to stand out because some people see the American flag, they're like, I'm doing business with those people. And there's other people that are going to be like, I'm not doing business with those people. So you can do what you want with that. Videos, if you want to add videos, you can. Then your call to action can be automated, or you can pick any one of these. I would probably pick sign up, contact us, or learn more. Learn more creates the most curiosity and probably gets the most clicks. So I probably would select that. I would not select automated because it might pick download or subscribe or apply now, which wouldn't apply to you. I would pick the one that best applies to you. More asset types. You can add site links. I highly recommend it. What that does is it makes your ad bigger on the page, right? So what these are links, and they can all just go to other pages of your website. Where you could set like an additional one is like CrossFit diehard.com/intro. I believe it's the get-started page. Yeah, right here. You can also make this a site link and just put like, I copy that and I go here, see site link 4, we can make that one and just put get started today. And the final URL is here, get started. And then just stick whatever you want in here. You don't have to put anything, it's just recommended. And click create. And the site links basically, as I showed you here, they're these little links down here that are at the bottom of your ad. They just make the ad take up more space, which is ideal because the more space your ad takes up, the more it shoves your competition's ads down the page below the fold, right? So that's what you want, right? Okay, cool. Promotions. Again, anything you put, you're going to fill out the ad. And you can put here, if you do a free week, put a free week, right? And just put it to your homepage or whatever you want. I probably wouldn't add prices. Calls is like your phone number. So that's usually in there automatically. Call outs. This is really cool. These are just like a bunch of like call to actions at the bottom of the ad that take up more space. And you can add a bunch of these, right? So like you put like, and this could be like your list of services, right? And you watch what it does in the little corner down here. If I just start clicking things, it just adds them to the ad. It just starts making the ad bigger. Personal training, your fitness, CrossFit, nutrition, High Rocks. It just starts listing them and adding them. So make sure you use the call outs. It just makes the ad bigger and fills it out more. Okay. I'm not going to save that because I don't know if Bob would want me to. Locations, make sure you select your locations, then that they're linked for him, and you link them at the account level so that's working. Lead forms, I would not add a lead form. I would just send the traffic to your website. Structured snippets, you can add structured snippets as well. Again, this is more content added to your ad. It just makes your ad bigger, right? It is what it does. So if you start putting this gym is the best, it's be a good place to add like some testimonials with some quotations, like this gym is the best. Tammy, CrossFit Diehard local, right? Like somebody only got 20, I guess you only have 25 characters there, so you got to keep it short. But again, select what you want here. You can stick whatever you want in there. Again, just walking through the full ad because there's a lot of stuff people ignore in here that can help optimize the ad and make it better. Right, asset optimization. You don't need any of that. Signals. What are some words or phrases people use when searching for your products? Keep it simple. Gym near me. Right. Best gym near me. Fitness classes near me. CrossFit gym near me. Yeah, I would add a few, right? Down here is audience signal, additional signals. Let's see what we got down here. Demographics. This is where you can kind of like get into age, parental status, income level, additional signals, interests, And again, you're kind of relying on Google to know this much about people, which it doesn't always know everything about everybody, but it does based on their search data, right? And it can know their income and their age based on the websites that they fill out information on, right? So I generally don't recommend putting interest in detailed demographics here, which would be like, I guess you could select some of these right here, but this is like assuming they're already interested in these things, right? Which is like, not everybody's going to be searching for your gym, right? So, Jerry, when you do yours, do you use any of this? The interest in detailed demographics, this section right here? You leave that empty.
I do use the stuff that it recommends. So the interesting thing is, like, if you're not a CrossFit affiliate, if you put something in there that is, if you put something in there that's CrossFit, CrossFit will obviously come after you.
Yeah.
If Google does it organically, CrossFit can't sue Google. So I do actually use those.
Okay, cool. I was more asking, like, do you ever like this interest in detailed demographics, this specific section? It's not required. It's not recommended. It's just you can add in market. I generally don't use this. I usually just go off of the previous stuff we filled out. Do you know if you have anything filled out there on yours?
I have to be honest, it's been so long since I set up my ad that I just don't remember.
Okay. Okay, got it. Yeah, just curious because I know you use Performance Max a lot. But yeah, anyways, here, guys, I would probably just leave this empty because this is assuming they already have interest in these things, right? That's generally how I perceive it and how it's what I found. It'll shrink your audience. So say some housewife is looking for a gym and she types in gyms near me. If she's not already someone that Google has deemed a gym person, then your ad's not going to get shown, right? So I would leave this empty unless someone else has some refuting evidence to support that you should click that. That's kind of why I was asking Jerry there. But yeah, anyways, there's that. Now it's going to give you your budget and say average daily budget. Now it might blow your mind here and it might say $100 a day and you're like, oh, I can't spend that much money. That's fine. This is just what they recommend to get you, at the top regularly. $112 a day for his gym, right? Now you can go down here and set custom budget. The less money you spend here, the more you're going to make Google work to get you good leads, right? Because what's going to happen is your budget is going to exhaust every day before Google can really flex its muscle. I'm not saying spend $112 a day like it's recommending here, but if you can, I would. I do find when it comes to the budgets, obviously Google's job here is to get as much money from you as they can. So you can also start slow. I would do no less than $30 a day, which is like $1,000 a month, $900 a month roughly. More ideal would be if you can run like 50 to 70. Not only because it gets you more leads, but the quality of the leads do tend to go up when you spend more because you're just giving Google more bandwidth to search for better leads before the budget exhausts every day. Because the $50 will likely be gone before Google reaches all of the potential audience in your area, right? So you want to start, ideally with like $1,000 a month budget for a traffic channel, right? And that's, again, starting. And ideally over time, as it proves itself and you're getting traffic from it and you're getting leads, you spend more because you're going to get more leads and better leads too, right? And it's saying here that we should get conversions for around $1.87. Now, again, these conversions are based off of the conversion data set in this campaign, which was Google business listing clicks, not leads necessarily, right? So you're not going to get 187 leads. You're going to get 187 clicks for directions, click for phone calls, clicks for things like that, right? I'm going to go into the next campaign and show you guys how to base it on leads, which is going to be more of a manual campaign, right? So I'm going to go next. And it's going to ask us to confirm. And hopefully I can do that. All right, it's got to sign into my YouTube app real quick. Make sure this stuff is set up on your accounts, guys, because your account can get hacked by people, and it's quite often, I'm not going to say it's always people in other countries, but 99% of the time it's India or China or Africa, and they get into your stuff and they will set up ads to sell whatever they want to sell using your money. So be careful with it. Set up the 2FA so it does this. Some of the best advice I can give. Right, so there's a campaign. It's saying we got an issue here. What is the issue there? It's saying we can't use, basically this question mark at the beginning. We just got to get rid of that question mark. There we go. Okay, and asset group. What do we miss here? Basically go through it all, budget. Next. Just going to basically have you review everything. It's saying no signals provided. We did give it a bunch of, so yeah, we can just go to next. We can skip past that. I think that's optional anyways. Budget, next. Then it's just going to basically, again, summarize and you can publish. If it doesn't give you any issues, just click publish and you're off to the races, right? So that's a Performance Max campaign for your Google business profile, which is optimized for getting you Google business profile clicks, right? That being said, a lot of you guys want leads and want to base it on leads. The reason why I showed you that one is because that can result in leads, right? Like it's just not tracking for leads, it's tracking for like contact clicks and direction clicks, which ideally should lead downstream to people opting in, you know, on your website, but it might not also, right? So that's why you test it, you run it. I would say like anything you're going to test, if you're unsure about it, run it for like 10 to 14 days and then go in and review the data. And if you're not getting leads, it's either turn it off, it's not working, or find out what about it you need to change to get it to work, right? Performance Max, I would say, is definitely something where if like 10 to 14 days you're not seeing results, it's very hard because it's basically an AI generated campaign. You can't change a lot with it. All you can do is give Google the info, and it's going to basically go create the ads and do the targeting. And we just have to trust it. So there's not a lot you can change. All you can really do is turn it off if it's not working for you and go to a manual campaign, which is what I'm going to show you now. A lot of the steps are going to be the same, so we're going to go much faster. Oh, I didn't want to publish that. My bad. I'm going to go turn that off so we don't start spending Boz's money here. All right, so we're going to go to campaigns, and we're going to just pause. Cool. All right. Okay, so back to home here. We're going to go ahead and go to campaigns and click campaigns, and we're going to click create campaign, new campaign. And this time we're going to go for leads here, and we're going to go off the page views, okay? And we're going to see the actions here. What we want is people landing on that intro page, okay? I want to go to here, and we should be able to edit these goals. Yeah, here we go. Edit this goal on your conversions page. Go to conversions, and let's just go ahead and take that About Us page off of there because that's not what we want. What you could also do is make like a goal primary or secondary. So you could make that there a secondary goal. I actually don't want to delete this. I'm not sure why he's doing this, but I'm not going to delete this. But you want to make sure the only conversions in your campaign are basically landing on that intro page. Okay, so leads. We'll pretend like that the only one in here is this intro page. We're going to click continue. And then down here is the option to do performance match, which is the same thing we just did, right? Or you can do search, which we're going to go off of search because this is a manual setup of a campaign, which if Performance Max doesn't work for you, which it can work. So I know Jerry Trudman, who's helped me on this, he runs Performance Max. And Jerry, you want to give him something like your results that you've gotten from Performance Max? You want to tell him about that? I don't know if he's still with us or not.
Are you able to pull up my account the way you pulled up Boz's?
Without going long, just real quick, like what's your what do you normally see cost per lead and all that stuff off of there?
Go ahead and jump to your next thing, and I have the stuff pulled up from the other thing where you were looking for the Google tag. So I need to open a new screen. If you give me 2 seconds, I can pull it.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, I was just ballpark. Like I know he's getting leads at a very good price, and he is getting converted members from it. So it might work for you in your market. The only way to know is to test. Right now, the thing about Performance Max is it is more set it and forget it, and it automatically optimizes. You don't have to do the manual route. But if you do that and it doesn't work for you, then you're going to want to go the manual route and see if that will work for you.
I've got it up, Will.
Okay, cool. What's your just quick rundown? What's your
Let's see. Average cost per click $1.27. My conversion rate, total conversion. My conversion rate is 14.91%. My average cost per conversion is $8.54. So yeah, CPC 130, cost per conversion $8.54.
Yeah, so Jerry's getting $8 and change leads off of Google, which are like intent-driven leads. So that's competitive with Facebook's rate per lead, but the lead quality is way higher, right? So he's seeing big wins off of Performance Max, basically more or less following what we just gave you there. Now he's been doing it for a while and he's been tinkering with his, so there might be some optimizations he's done over time, but I know when he started, he was just doing basic setup like we did here. But I'm going to show you guys the other. What's up?
If there's time at the end, I spent a lot of time thinking about this since the last time we spoke. I'll chime in with a couple things at the end if there's time.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it sounds great. Yeah, Jerry, if you guys want to hang out at the end, Jerry, I'll give you guys some advanced stuff for some additional tips on the Performance Max end for those of you that want to try it. Because he's had some success with it. And that's one of his primary channels. For now, I'll just show you guys the manual route setting up a campaign. It's really not that manual. It's still pretty straightforward. But you're going to want to go website visits is what you're looking for here. And your guys' website, again, just put your website in. CrossFitDieHard.com. And you're going to name it And again, I would just name it something that makes it easy to remember what it is. This is, CF diehard manual setup. I'm just going to put something here at the beginning so boss know this was me, because he's going to be like, what are all these campaigns in my account? Okay, there we go. We're just going to create a new one just for the sake of setting this up. And you guys notice I just set up that whole entire campaign in like 30 minutes after I did my intro. So it's something you guys can totally do. It's something you guys can't use the time excuse on. It's going to take you a little bit longer, yes, than it took me. But I was literally talking and ad-libbing in between all that and explaining stuff. So not super long to set up, right? These things are easy. What does take time is going back into the ad campaign every week and reviewing your data, right? So again, here, conversions is what we want. We're going to take off target cost per action. We're going to make sure bid for new customers only is off. We're going to want to make sure, very important, turn this search partners network off. We don't want it showing anywhere else but Google, right? Any of these display network and search partner network are like apps and stuff that uses Google's, like they make money showing Google's ads, but it will burn up your budget and you won't get a lot of clicks. Location. Okay, so we're going to want to enter, we're going to go location options, and people in or regularly in your included location. Also enter another location, and this is going to go advanced search. And this is where you're going to want to get, for a gym, very specific, enter your location. Let's see, what is CrossFit Diehard's location information? Okay, they are 810 Fentress. So we're just going to copy this. We're going to go back. I'm going to type it in. It might not want to pull up. So we're going to just go back and see what it's doing that to us. Okay. Fentress. Okay, it doesn't want to find us. Let's go radius. Okay, your main location feed. Okay, so if you have your business location in here, you could go with your main location feed, which is basically 20 miles around your gym's location. Now he's in Florida here, so let's just go ahead and zoom in on this. Here in Daytona Beach. Okay, there he is. You can also just type in Daytona, like your city. You can also drop a pin, I believe. Let's see. How do we? Oh, we can't drop pin. Oh, pin mode. There we go. So if his gym is right here in Daytona Beach, we might want to zoom in a little bit more on this and just drop it on your corner. I think his gym is somewhere up in here. And you're going to want to go, whatever radius pertains to you. For most gyms, 5 to 10 miles. Okay. You can zoom out on the view to see if there's any areas you want to avoid. You can also go based on like zip codes. You can go, click include, it'll add it. Okay, it just went 20 miles. I don't know why I did that. We wanted 7 miles, safe. Okay. Now you can go location. You can go zip code. So like, what's his zip code? It is 32117. Targeting is one of the most important things to get right, guys. Let's see, Florida, there it is, include. So there's his zip code. I recommend doing overlapping bubble of radius and zip code. Do both. Also, you guys can exclude as well. So like, say you want to exclude an area. How do we do the exclusions? There's a way to do this. Say I were to go back to that zip code. I believe it's when I'm adding it. It'll say like include or exclude. So 32117. Yeah, see right there, exclude. So I can exclude that if I wanted to. Right. And now it's red and it won't show the ads there. So that's important because maybe you live in an area where like one side of the fence is like ultra wealthy families that have kids and they all love to stay fit. And the other side of the street is like they're drinking and boozing and they're all, like it's just not your target pocket of people. You might want to exclude that market and make sure your advertising dollars are going exactly to the zip codes you want. And honestly, guys, zip codes are the best way to do it because the way most demographics are shaped by zip code, right? Because of school systems, because of a number of things that determine what real estate is more valuable than others, right? So also status and things like that as well. So zip code, but also overlay it with a radius as well. Once you do that, just here, we'll just basically, just for the sake of moving this one along, let's go ahead and go pin mode and stick it right there and include, and then we're going to edit it for a 7 mile radius, save, just like that. And again, presence, people enter regularly in your location, languages, put all languages that apply that you can also service. Audience segments. It basically allows you to target more of certain kind of people who are interested in certain kind of things, kind of like we did in the Performance Max one, like are they into health and fitness? Are they into gyms and athletic clubs? Again, if you pick this, you're picking people that already probably are doing something, right? You might not necessarily want to target that market and, not be showing to people that Google hasn't deemed have an affinity for that, right? This would work better if you're like in a hobbyist kind of thing, right? Like say you're a CrossFit gym that only wants like hardcore CrossFit hobbyists, then sure, yeah, go on here and pick all the fitness stuff. But mind you, you're not going to get any of that general population, people that just want to lose some weight and get in better shape and make some friends, right? So I recommend not selecting anything here unless your gym is a very, very narrow, almost hobbyist type of subset of people. And then here you have targeting, narrow the reach of your campaign to selected segments. Observation, don't narrow the reach with the option to adjust the bids on selected segments, right? So you could do that if you want to. But if you leave this blank, it's not going to do any of that. It's just going to go based on whoever searches, right? Broad match keywords off. I recommend turning this off. You'd have to play with it. The thing with broad matches, what this means, guys, just to educate you on this, broad match means if you basically like it allows Google to use keywords that are related to the search terms you want it to find, you want it to target for, right? Say you don't want to do that. Say, like, because if you were to go broad match gyms near me, it could pull up anything related to gyms near me, any search related to gyms near me, and now you're getting a lot of clicks that may not relate to you. I recommend when you're starting a campaign, not using broad match. Okay, I recommend just putting in the keywords that you want to make sure you show up for, right? Automatically create assets. Again, if you wanted to create ads for you, you can do that. I'm a bigger fan. This is full manual, so we're going to go full manual here. We're going to go off. I have more success with full manual campaigns than I do with Performance Max. Again, there's some exceptions to those rules. Jared Trubman being one of them, as well as some other gyms. You got to find what works for you. Okay, again, start and end date, add schedule. If you want to make sure you're not showing in the middle of the night, then come in here and just set the times you're showing. That's really up to you. Campaign URL options. Again, if you want to add UTM tracking suffixes, you can do that. More advanced stuff, you can totally do it. We're going to click next. And then actually, let's go back one step because I thought we clicked no on the, yeah, okay, cool. It's still going to try to help you create. Okay, I see. So yeah, it's going to basically try to help you create your ad. Again, put all your, your stuff in here, any other links that you want to put in here. Click generate, and it's basically just going to create some ads that you can edit. And same thing as before. Actually, what is it doing now? It's got, okay, keywords, yeah, ad groups, site links. Okay, it's creating some ads, keywords here based on personal training. Okay, so we can click edit on this. And this is basically like you can edit this and say this is like our personal training ad group, right? But we're just going to go CrossFit, and we are a CrossFit gym. And basically just want to edit these keywords that it gives you to match up. So you want to say like, now if you don't type, this is very important. If you want to make sure you're not showing, broad match means basically if I type in like CrossFit gym and I don't put anything else with it, it's broad match. It basically means that like Google's going to show anything that is related to CrossFit gym. It could be like Pilates, right? If you want to make sure it's more specific, you want to put quote marks around both sides of it. And it's going to say, if the term has the word CrossFit gym in it, I want to show up in that search, right? So if they search the words best CrossFit gym for all of eternity, you're going to show up in the top of that search, okay? If you want to make it so you show up for only that keyword, you're going to want to type in bracket CrossFit gym bracket, okay? Just like that. Now, what I don't recommend doing one or other. I recommend doing both, right? That way you can get data on how many people are searching just CrossFit gym and how much you're paying to show up in terms that include the word, right? So we go CrossFit gym, we go gym near me. Again, both quotations and bracket. Okay. And then I would maybe keep this to maybe like 5 to 7 keywords. I wouldn't go crazy. It's going to suggest to you a million things is add more words to CrossFit. Right, you can type in CrossFit itself. Again, remember that like CrossFit itself is a broad term, and it doesn't mean they're looking for a gym. It might mean something else, but if you want to show up at the top of the searches, you can do just CrossFit, right? If you're a CrossFit gym, for example. I know a lot of you guys aren't CrossFit gyms. Just use the same thing with whatever keywords are important to you, like group training, right? That's probably an important one, group training. And group training. Cool. All right. Cool. I would keep this very narrow set of keywords. Using the ones with the quotation marks is already allowing it to expand into other search terms that include that word. Okay. Cool. Then down here is where we actually build our ad, right? So that's our landing page, our home page, right? That's where we want to go to. Down here, it's created a bunch of headlines that it thinks are good headlines based on your website and stuff like that. Again, I would use the sexy ad question on ChatGPT and be like, okay, cool. Let's try a couple of these. Let's see. I wonder if this will work with the arrow in it because I would get someone's attention. It's just different. What I would do also is pin. You can use a little pin. You can pin the top three. I would not pin all three. I would pin one that's like you want to make sure people see this on every ad. So pin only in position one. So like this one here, Daytona's Beach's Best Gym is going to show up first for every ad. The others will just rotate, right? So elevate your fitness today, 24/7 open gym access, high rocks and high, and which is cool is if they're high rocks gym, you should also make sure you add high rocks in your keywords. Let's see if this one works with the Unicode arrow in it. I don't know if it does or not. It may or may not. And then, just mix and match some different ones in there. It'll rotate them through. And ultimately, the one that people click the most, it's going to use the most. And then again, just like we talked before, guys, add images, add anything that is going to enhance your profile standing up. Select, save. Fill it out with site links here. Fill out the call outs, just like we did in the previous one. Any promotions, make sure location is attached here. Okay, make sure location is selected. Very important. What that'll do is that'll actually help enhance your Google Business profile listing as well. It'll also show your Google Business profile right there, which is super cool. So make sure that's connected. Apps you don't need to worry about, and then click next, right? And then this is your keywords nutrition coaching. If you don't do nutrition coaching, then just delete this. Don't use these. This is basically for the other ad group here. Basically, it created multiple ad groups because it's thinking that this person wants to do nutrition coaching. You can also just delete that or click save and then go back and delete it. Okay, so we're going to basically remove this nutrition coaching one. There we go. And there's basically our ad group that we created. Okay, click next. And again, it's going to add budget. Again, I probably wouldn't do this for less than $30 a day. You can see here, it's saying that you're going to get 8.7 page view lands on that intro booking page, which is pretty good. 8.7, $24 cost per conversion at a cost of $21. And those would be people that opted in. That's based on weeks. So you're probably gonna get like one or two a day, basically, it's saying, right? It could be better. It depends on your market. If you spend more, you're probably gonna get more. Again, this is not a guarantee. It's just what they're thinking, right? So you just gotta basically do your math. Click next. Basically just review all of your campaign stuff. Oh, there are policy findings with your ads. And it's probably because it includes the word CrossFit, and it's going to basically want to say, oh, no, it's actually saying punctuation and symbols. It's probably that one that I added right here. It probably doesn't like this symbol in there. So that didn't work. If you put any emojis and stuff like that in there, it's basically going to say like, no, not happening. Okay, next. Let's see if it clears that. No, it's still got an error. Oh, it's because of let's see, CrossFit. Let's see, what is it? What does it think it is? View details. It doesn't want to show me, I guess. I guess you want to go in here and like check for symbols and punctuation. A lot of times it's like exclamation points and stuff like that. Um, could be what it is. Let's see, is it more specific? Yeah, you might have to find out what exactly it is that is the issue. Punctuation symbols, that's very weird. I don't see any symbols. Anywho, this one's done. It's probably not going to let me publish. We're not publishing anyways, but we just basically would review this and then publish this campaign if we're good to go. If we're not publishing it, then we don't have to, right? We just leave it in draft. It'll save it for later. So cool, guys. That is how you set up and launch Google Ads, right? That is the best way to do it for both Performance Max. Now, Jerry's on the call with us, BLG client, who's also run a lot of Google Ads, and he's going to give us some advanced stuff if you so care to, Jerry.
Yes, sir. So first thing, a little bit of clarification. I still run search campaigns, and that's actually, I keep a teeny tiny budget on that. And the purpose of that is it allows me to have all that really, really specific stuff that you just did that I actually originally set that up by following your very first video that I saw when I joined. And one of the advantages that Google has that nobody else does is that you can prune that list. So when you first set up the campaign, I recommend actually setting it up for clicks instead of conversions for about 60 to 90 days or so. And ultimately what you're doing is you're teaching Google what it is that you do. And it'll start to give you all kinds of crazy search results, like in other words, what people are searching for to find you. And then you can start to go in and prune those. So if you don't do Zumba and you see that people are finding your Google ad when they search for Zumba, you can actually go in there and hit negative keyword. So for the first 60 to 90 days, you'll probably add, I don't know, I want to say mine has probably 70 to 100 negative keywords, like things that I don't want to be showing for. And I've kept that particular campaign going this whole time. My Performance Max campaign feeds off of that.
Can you want to screen share and show us how you do your negative keywords?
Yes, sir. I'm going to hang up on this call and I'm going to call back in on my laptop.
Okay, cool. Awesome. While you're doing that, when you jump back in, I'm going to show them quickly how to just adjust their tracking time on their conversions, just because that's something that as you said about tracking conversions, I realized that, I should make sure I do that with you guys. So if we go settings, something you're going to want to do is go to your page views here, guys, and click on the goal, like your main goal, whichever one it is down here, the conversion you said earlier. And when you get here, you're going to go to settings, edit settings. And you're going to want to make sure this click-through conversion window is shorter. I would go 30 days. Okay, and then you're going to want to also set, once that one saves, your engaged view window for within a day as well. It's basically like saying, like, we're only, because what you guys sell with gym memberships, they're not going to opt in and leave. They're not quite often not going to leave, think about it, and then like come back like 2 days later. They're usually going to opt in there on site. We want to track the direct click to the conversion. And if it's more than 3 days, we'd rather track a whole nother click and conversion, if that makes sense, guys. I just found the data is more accurate because you'll get conversion data. You'll be like, it says I got 5 leads this week. I didn't get 5 leads this week. And that's because it's tracking because that window's 3 days, it's tracking stuff that was from the prior week, basically. So like 30 day, 1 day, 1 day, I would make sure this is on traffic, data driven, enhanced conversions. Yeah. And then make sure you click done. Cool. All right. I think Jerry's back with us. He's going to walk us through. Did I screen share that with you guys or did I not do that? I did not do that, did I? Okay. Let me just walk real quickly. For your ads, for your conversions, right here, go to your summary, click on your ad, your page view, your conversion here under summary, and click on the conversion. And then right here under edit settings, make sure right here, this is set for 30 days. Okay, 30 days there. And then make sure this is set for 1 day, right? We basically want to track the conversions from the same day of the click and not like someone, because what can happen is like, say they see your ad on Google and then you're running a retargeting ad on Facebook and then they opt in 2 days later off the Facebook ad. Google's going to get credit for that conversion, even though Facebook is the one that got them to convert, right? So, you want the data to be pretty honest, right? Okay. So anyways, that's what I wanted to show you guys there with a little edit on that. But Jerry, go ahead and take it away and show us what you got.
Okay, I just sent you a request to let me screen share.
I did it.
Okay, let's see what we've got here. What's going on?
You can try it again. I did authorize something though.
Oh, did I just X out of everything? I sure did. Dang it. Sorry. Old, not good at technology.
So what happens when you let the old guys run the show? Just kidding, man. You said it.
All right. All right. Can you guys see it?
Yeah, there we go.
Sweet. Okay. So first of all, for campaigns, oh, do you want me to go through with the tag manager?
Um,
Do
I
you
would
care?
say if we can keep it under 10 minutes, because we're already kind of at that time where people start dropping off. So I'd probably say like go right for the meat and potatoes is probably the most.
Yeah, it's very easy to find. If somebody cannot find how to, so when it's new, it's right. It gives you a screen to do it. If you've had it set up forever, or you're switching from clicks to campaigns, and you need to edit the tag manager, it's just right. It's under tools and data manager.
Oh, this is to find your tag, your tracking tag if you need to find it later. That's what
Yeah.
this does. Yeah. Okay, got it.
Mine is already set up. So when I go through the goals tab, it just shows that it's already set up. So right here, you'll see Google tag, you click manage. It's going to take you to this thing right here, yada, yada, yada. Actually, while we were on the call, I actually had some issues with my tag. I had a couple things where it was showing some things need attention. I actually fixed that while we were on the call. But anyway, this is how you get to it.
If you click installation instructions there, so it shows like,
Yeah.
I think right there is where it should give the tag, the actual. Oh yeah, it'll try to link. Oh, install manually. Click install manually right there. Perfect. That's your tag. Yep, there it is. So that's the tag you guys are going to want to get and send to us in the support ticket to add to your website. If you guys can't add it automatically, or if you're like building your own funnel page in Gymnetics, you're going to want to put this tag on the tracking script side of things. So if you don't know what I just said and it doesn't make any sense, don't worry about it. Just send the tag to us via the support channel. So thanks, Jerry.
Yeah, no worries. And so and it's super annoying. You're right, because they move it all the time. It's really
They do. I feel like every time I do one of these, they change the word how you get that tag.
okay. So I run two campaigns. I've got my Performance Max and I've got my BLG campaign. My BLG campaign is just a conventional search campaign that I followed the very first video that you put out when I first joined BLG. There was a lot of problems with I've been running Google ads much longer than I've been working with you. And I've never had these kind of results with it. So it has taken some time. I've had to figure some things out and prune a few things, but I still have, it's very low. It's at $5 a day. But the reason that I keep it is because if I go here to my main page, and actually I've been lazy, so this is going to be good. There's a lot of stuff here. So here you can see the top searches and words within searches that people saw my ad. Now, gym near me, obviously I like all this stuff. Here are my competitors. Obviously I don't want to touch that. Let's see if there's something really dumb in here. I've done a really good job adding negative keywords. Yoga in Tucson. We don't do yoga. So I'm just going to add that as a negative keyword. And what I want to do is I want to do an exact match on that. And the reason is you got to be careful, because if you go too broad with your negative keywords, it might take away stuff that you want to search for. So I just don't want people, if somebody searches yoga in Tucson, I don't want to waste the money showing them my ad. So I'm going to click save. And when you have a new campaign, you got to be like, after it runs for about 30 days, you got to be on here almost daily. Pilate, somebody spelled Pilates wrong. Okay, now it's only one, but I don't care. I'll just go in here, exact match. If somebody is if someone's spelling skills are so poor they can't do that, I don't want them looking at my ad. And so you just do this for the first 90 days. And the more you prune it, and you can actually go in and look at your negative keywords, and I would know how to do that if I was a little bit smarter. But yeah, I literally have probably 100 to 150 negative keywords. And because I have so many, it keeps Google from showing my ad to people that I know have no chance at all of clicking on my ad. Let's see here, Will. So that was to answer the other question, I still keep that around because by having a very, very well taken care of, well manicured search campaign, it ultimately improves my Performance Max campaign, because this uses this to figure out stuff about me.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's great. So yeah, you're running that low volume one just for like the click volume, $5 a day. That way you can identify negative keywords to improve your Performance Max campaign. That's awesome, man. That's great. That's
And
great. Great tip.
sure, it's given me 4 conversions in the last 30 days. I mean, that's better than a sharp stick in the eye, but that's not the reason that I keep it.
Yeah.
Let's see what else is going on here.
It's saying like your cost per, now because conversions, when it calls a conversion for your Performance Max, is that also the same type of conversion? Is that also a page view, like like the page, the conversion you consider a conversion, or is that including like other types of engagements?
So my conversions, so like I was telling you earlier, I have conversion values set up. The booking page and the schedule a free coaching call page are the two that I assign the highest value to. The pricing is number 3, and then the others I just left at 0. So all of my, I guess, I don't know, maybe you'll just end up calling me out like you did Boz. Let me see what I got here.
I only call out with love, by the way, everybody.
Oh yeah, dude, if there's an error here, please shout it out. So my pricing form, 162 conversions, that I consider, when someone submits a pricing form, it's good. It's not as good as the booking, obviously, but you know, those people are obviously expressing some interest.
Yeah.
I do not have, I either don't have this set up or nobody calls, which both could probably be true.
Yeah.
I got some clicks to call there, but not very many. Booking appointment. So it does track that. Local actions. I do have directions in there. I don't know. I don't know if I should have that in there.
You don't, it just depends on what you have. You might have that set up here, but it doesn't mean that that campaign is using it. That just depends on if you're doing the local ads Performance Max account, like which are like pretty much your Google business listing, then it will use those. That's probably separate. It looked like you only had on your ad campaign in the view there, because you had it segmented. It looked like it was just the 4 that are website actions. So I think you have it set up correctly.
Okay. This other one was actually something, this was a workaround that my Google Ads representative worked out for me, where these are just backdoors to the booking page. So what it is it's your website.com/confirmed. So it's after they book, it triggers that confirmed page. And then I have that set up as another engagement. So when someone confirms a booking, it also counts that as a victory.
Yeah. Got it.
I do have website visits in there. I mean, if someone is looking at my website, I have Facebook retargeting campaigns, thanks to you. So yeah, no, I think that's about all I got.
Awesome. Good stuff. Thanks, Jerry. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, the negative keywords thing is gold, actually. That's something you guys should all definitely do, is use those negative keywords. That's kind of that's called like pruning the tree, I call it, where like once you're running ads, it's the same with any kind of ads, Facebook, Google, whatever. Like you want to go in there, like you've planted the tree, it's growing, it starts to grow big. Some of the branches get out of control. It starts, those branches are spending all your money. And what those are, those can be like negative keywords that your ads are showing up for. That's why like, when you're running the ads and the keywords and the quotations, you're showing up in searches or sometimes similar searches even. And what we want to do is use negative keywords to make sure you're not showing up for those searches. And it'll help just sharpen the campaign to where like you're only getting the people searching for exactly what you want, right? So that's it for today's call, guys. With that, this is where I kind of leave it open for any open Q&A. If you're not sticking around for the Q&A, you're free to go, I guess, if you're looking for permission. Thanks for hanging around and watching today, guys. I would love to see some of you guys get involved on this. Kind of like Jerry's done. Like we look for masterminding amongst the community, and that you guys go and launch this stuff. You gain some expertise and ability at it. You come back here and share, and we all learn together. If Jerry wasn't showing up for these calls using this stuff, he wouldn't have that little nugget on the negative keywords to share back with us, and that's because he's taken and he's come back and he's given, right? So that's my call to action. My ask for you guys in here at BLG is, if you're going to use this stuff, come back, give feedback, use it as a conversation point, and share what you've learned with other people in the group here. Don't hoard it all for yourself. and just be of value. So yeah, that was it, guys. But let me know what questions you guys have. Otherwise, we can close this call out.
Will, I have a comment and a question.
Yeah, go for it.
The one last thing that I want to add regarding Performance Max campaigns is because Google owns YouTube. I used Hydra, that AI thing, when you did that training a few weeks back, and I made like an AI Jerry, like it's like a commercial basically.
Yeah.
And there's also, if you're too lazy to make videos, you can actually use templates that are inside of Performance Max campaign. And when you do those, they will show on YouTube as ads, but they will be targeting that particular, like if somebody falls into your demographic of location and whatever, when they watch YouTube, they will see your ad. So the generic templates are not too bad. I did use them for a little while, but I have had people call me going, hey, I saw your commercial on YouTube. And that was also part of the Performance Max. I've since changed it to the Hydra one that you walked us through on that one training. And I just did that yesterday, so we'll see how that goes. But if you're running Performance Max campaigns and you're not utilizing the video feature, you're basically missing out on all of the ads that YouTube is showing to your target demo.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, awesome, man. That's fantastic. Yeah, except what that looks like is like if they're on Google, say they're on YouTube and they're searching like, we use the CrossFit example just because that, that's top of mind, but sort of using Barry Boswell's one. But say they're on YouTube looking at CrossFit videos, what's going to happen is like your ad will show up it'll play before the video plays. And also, you can also have it show up next to the video as well as like CrossFit gym near me, basically. And sometimes people that are like, say they move to your area and they're watching CrossFit videos and then they see your ad, they'll click on it through there, right? Probably not the. I would say it's more advanced. I'd say if you're like Jerry and you're running ads already and you're already getting some success on Google and you want to go like another step and add like another traffic channel, that's where I'd say YouTube can be kind of cool. You're probably going to have a much more expensive cost per click and much more cost per lead, but if it still falls within your window of profitability, if you're getting leads for $20, but you're closing 1 out of 5 of them, that's me just spending $100 to acquire a client. For most of you guys, it's going to be advantageous to do something like that, right? But the only way to know for sure is to test, right? James says, I feel so lost navigating Google Ads. Well, that's why I just did a whole video for you, walking you through step by step, my man. So you don't have to worry about it. You can just, you can just go back and you can pause. You can do that step. You can pause again. You can do the next step until you get through it.
Oh, I'm still lost. Well, following on, listening to Jerry, I'm just like, oh man, this is like, you need to spend days on this stuff. So yeah, I'm going to be watching this video again, like on repeat until I get.
Oh yeah, for sure. So let me clear something up so you don't feel bad about that. Not that you should feel bad about that, but like there's people whose whole entire career is just running and going into the depths of Google ads. So by going through some of this stuff and giving you guys some of the advanced stuff, Jerry sharing with you some advanced tips, it's not to say that you need to become a master at that because like that's not your day job, right? I would just use what we give you here, keep it simple. We're just giving you a few extra things. Jerry's giving you a few extra things because he likes to nerd out on it. But if you don't consider yourself a nerd, don't feel like you need to gain like an agency level of mastery at this. You can keep this pretty simple, like what we just did in this video, and get the results you need. Because like I said, there's people who literally run like multi-million-dollar agencies doing this, and their job is to like know that, what Jerry just shared and some of the tips I've shared, like they'll know that times 20. There's things inside Google you can do that with on all these other platforms, YouTube, even on the Facebook side, the levels of complexity there, it can get crazy. And I will tell you that like there's no amount of learning you can do that will ever make you feel like you know it all. So I would not look at this like, oh, because I don't know it all, I'm less than or whatever. Not to say that you are, but some people do. If they don't feel like they know the whole platform, they just won't do it. And I'm like, this isn't a platform that you can know all of. It's the waters run so deep on this that it's never ending. So hopefully that makes you feel better, James.
Yeah, it does. Well, I'm going to start with the basics of I need to figure out if my conversion, I don't even think I have a conversion tag. When Google shows me, oh, you've got this many conversions, I'm like, how do you even know that? I don't even know what that means. I don't even know where it's pointing to. So I'm going to start with that. Yeah,
I would go back and set up that base conversion for that intro page on your website and make sure that that's the one being used on your ads. Keep it super, super simple. It's an 80-20 rule, man. There's like, of the 100 things you can learn about Google, there's just like the 20 things that are going to lead to 80% of the success are what we talked about here today.
Go ahead.
Sorry,
well, I was going to say a question about that, because with my site, when you click on no sweat intro button, it brings up the Gymnetics calendar and my booking link. It's not within, like, I don't think a page on my site, just the way my Wix site's set up. So would I set the conversion to actually be whatever that URL is for the Gymnetics link?
That's right. Are you still using a Wix? That's right. You are still using a Wix site. I don't know why you are, but
Yeah, it's just slow to adopt.
yeah, just let us build you a site. We can literally, I mean, like, shoot, I would say first fix that.
Yeah.
I think you got to be the only one that's not.
We add so many pages to our site all the time and then take them down. Like right now, I got a 10-week hockey page that I needed to throw up yesterday to try to get in some hockey kids, and I'm getting another one now that I need to set up. Like I need to be able to do stuff fast on the fly for adding pages.
Yeah, and you can do that in our sites too. But you would, like you said, the learning curve would be the thing. It sounds like you need to wrap your head around, which would.
But I could do it myself.
What's that?
I can do it myself.
Yeah. For those of you guys that want to get in and create new pages on your website, it's so all of our sites are built on WordPress, so we can give you user access to the back end of WordPress, which is way more capable than Wix. Because we have gym owners that do blogs all the time. We we don't necessarily offer it because we don't want gym owners going in there breaking stuff if they don't need to be in there. But if a gym owner is like, I use my site to a far greater degree than just a standard landing page, then like you can definitely get more access. You just put a support ticket in and say like, hey, I need admin access to my website to do some landing pages and blog posts. If you say that, like the team will they'll create you a login and you can get in there. And obviously there's a learning curve in switching.
Yeah.
But I know Wix has pretty much tried to copy what WordPress has done. But yeah, I mean, you could totally do that. I mean, I'd say like on your website, just looking at your site, like you don't have the lead capture form. Your site pretty much goes directly to a Gymnetics booking widget. So it's going to be hard to track the conversions that way. That's why we have the two-step opt-in where it's like page 1 is opt-in and page 2 is booking. It's because it allows you to get those leads that wouldn't book. Because right now, people are just going directly to your booking page like this.
Mm-hmm.
Here, I'll just pull it up real quick so we're both looking at it. I think this is good for everybody watching. So like right now on your site, you got your home page and you got this link up there, and then it goes directly to a booking page. And this is the Gymnetics form, which in Gymnetics forms you can add. I believe you can add the pixel in here into the form itself. Let me really quickly see if I can walk you through that. Let me go to Gymnetics real quick and see if I can verify I'm speaking correctly on that. If I just I'm going to go to our account and pull up one of our forms. But I want to say you can put tracking codes inside form pages. If I misspoke, we'll know here in a second. If I just pick any form in the builder, say I pick just this form here. If I go to style and options, if I go down to miscellaneous, no, maybe options. Okay, here we go. Facebook pixel, yes. Facebook pixel events, yes. You can't put general code in there anywhere that I can see. So yeah, the form has to be on like a page that has the pixel on it. So yeah, you couldn't. So yeah, you wouldn't be able to do it. I mean, you could. I wonder if there's a code widget over here that you could add it to in the custom. Let's see, not custom fields, but okay, there is HTML. I don't know if that would work. It just gets really clunky when you do it this way. Ideally, we have a website built with that Google tag on all pages. That way, no matter what page, you can create conversions around it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I would say, well, here's a solution for you. If you wanted to keep your site the same, do this here. Let me go to CrossFit Bowmanville to show you something really quick. I'll start it. You can finish it. You might not even need to. Let's just pull you up here real quick. CrossFit Bowmanville. And I may need your help telling me which form it is here.
I would be.
It's scheduler, isn't it? It's a calendar. Oh, I was looking at forums. You're on calendars. Okay. Calendar settings, calendars.
BNSI.
Is it the no sweat intro one right here?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to click. First thing I'm going to do is click edit calendar. And let's see if we can add it here anywhere. Connections, no customizations. Okay, right here, maybe under this custom code, this might work. You'd want to put the code, you want to put the tracking tag here and then go use the Google Tag Manager to see if it works when you pull the page up.
Okay.
You can try that, or the foolproof way to do it for sure is, okay, I go to this no sweat intro. I go to, okay, where's my embed code? Embed code right here. I grab the embed code, okay? And then what I do is I go back and I go to sites and I just go to a funnel page. Okay, just create a funnel page, just a blank one, and just call it like NSI calendar. Again, if the other way works, then do it that way.
Okay.
If I just showed you, but if that doesn't work and you need like an actual like static page to put it on, you go here, you do a new page, just call it NSI page. Just create new funnel step. And then just create from blank. And insert a section, add a row, add an element. Okay, calendar's already in this, so we don't even need to use the embed code. Click your calendar, no sweat intro, boom.
Yeah.
So now you have a page that looks exactly the same. It just has the embedded on it.
Okay.
Click publish. You're gonna need a domain. So, I don't know if either of these domains work or not.
Yeah.
This one works?
Yeah.
Okay. And then save. And then it's going to ask you to update some SEO metadata. Just click that, click publish again, just to make sure it publishes. Now what you do is you go back and you go to settings. And right here, it says head tracking code. This is where you'd stick the Google Tag Manager code.
Okay.
You click that and click save. So whatever the code is, you click save. And then now you basically have the same page. It's going to look the same and function the same, but you just have a page that can host that code so you can do the tracking. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah, so I pull this up now, bowmanville.com/NSI page. There it is. It looks exactly the same as your previous page. It's got a little bit of space at the top, which you can get rid of if you wanted to. But the tag manager is going to be able to recognize a tag on it. So you have a couple different ways. One is, my most recommended way is let us just get you a good site. I mean, it's already included. So I would just say, just do it, and then have the team just get you, admin access. And then you wouldn't have to worry about this. We'll just put the tag on there for you. Step 2 would be try directly in the calendar to see if that tag would work. And the third option, if neither of those work for you, is create a page in the funnel form with CrossFitMobileMill.com and put that tag in there, because it definitely will work this way.
Okay.
So a couple different options for you.
Thanks, Will. I appreciate that.
No problem, James. Cool. All right, guys. With that, we will... we had one more question. I think Jerry had one more question. I had a question regarding seasonality and what the focus should be over the summer months now that traffic is slow. Yeah, great question. I mean, generally search traffic is going to be down during the summer. For the same reason, I mean, every traffic source is going to be down in the summer, right? Like most people aren't going to start their fitness journey or their new fitness goal path in the middle of the summer. Doesn't mean there isn't a lot of people that will. It's just going to be a smaller percentage of people. So traffic is going to be slower, right? So option 1 is like we just proceed as usual. If our traffic sources are still getting us an ROI, say we're spending $100 a day and we're making 101 on those ads, all the more reason to just keep running those ads, right? Don't change anything. Just understand that it's seasonal. Option 2 is to add other traffic sources, other traffic channels. Now, again, this is the beauty of interruption advertising. Google relies on intent-driven buyers, or prospects. It's looking for people that are already looking for the thing, right? With Google, they can't find you unless they type in the keyword that you are bidding, which means they have to have intention behind why they're there, right? They're only coming because they are searching for gyms. Now, again, that requires the market to provide enough people searching for you to use it, right? If the market is just down because people aren't searching for gyms, then the alternate option is interruption advertising, right? Go where people are hanging out that are still in town and interrupt them with ads, right? And that would be Facebook, right? Facebook, Meta, Instagram, right? Because they're on that platform just scrolling mindlessly, and you can choose to put your ad in front of them. Now, of course, lead quality is going to be much worse than Google, but you're playing the numbers game of knowing that 1 out of 10 of these people probably are going to be a good lead for me. And you go after that market of people, right? You go after the interruption advertising pocket. You go after the unaware market, right? Because it's like trying to remember if it's Eugene Schwartz's book, Breakthrough Advertising. It's basically 5 stages of awareness. And like it starts with unaware, people that don't know they have a problem, don't know what the solutions are, and don't know that there's providers for or who the providers even are, right? When you're on Google, you're not looking for those people. You're looking for people that are like on step 2 of the awareness, like they are aware of a problem, and they are now going to look for solutions and providers, right? So Google is a step 2 lead prospect, which is much warmer than a step 1 prospect. A step 1 prospect is someone who's completely unaware. They are just mindlessly scrolling the internet and they see something in your ad that makes them think. And now they're like, oh, I have that problem. I should go look for providers. Oh, who's the best person? The person who just made me aware of the problem, right? So, you're just shopping and you're just marketing to a little bit different audience with step 1 people, unaware people. It's kind of like just walking into the town square where everybody's like just hanging out and just waving a sign and being like, do you feel fat today? Right? Most people are going to look at you and cringe, right? But a few people will be like, actually, I'm feeling fat today. Can we do something about this? Right? So it's a numbers game. Does that help answer your question, Jerry?
It does. Do you think during this summer season that, like, I'm spending a considerable amount of money right now on Google Ads? Should I temporarily, for like, just say like the rest of June and July, take $30 away from what I'm doing on Google Ads and go all in with that, or not all in, but take that same amount of money and do something more like on Facebook just for this season, just to generate some more awareness?
Yeah, I would. I mean, it's actually what we are actually doing right now internally. I would say up until because I would say our seasonality here at Big Little Gyms is not too indifferent from gyms itself, because most gym owners are less likely. Well, they're more likely to look for help when they feel like things are down, but they also are less likely to look for help when they don't feel like they have the money to spend. So the summers do slow down for us as well. So we find that Google slows down for us as well. So it's our seasonality is very similar. That's why I share that, is to say that we actually do that in the summer. We go for more interruption advertising. So we've actually kicked up our Facebook ad campaigns. We were probably 80-20 Google up until like March. And then we went to probably 50-50 Google, Facebook in March till now. And then I actually just turned our Google Ads campaign completely off. Not all my campaigns, but just my broader campaign that kind of has the widest reaching of searches. And I only led my very specific, I have a campaign that's just targeted just for BLG related searches. That one still stays up because they're searching for BLG. We want to make sure that a competitor isn't outbidding us on our own term. But the broader searches we just turned off because a whole week went by where we spent about $3,000 and didn't get a single lead. And we were like, and that was not like that 2 months ago. So we were like, okay, we need to, play around Facebook. So we started playing with Facebook ads. Now Facebook ads are way more work because Google, you can just sit behind your computer and build the ad and put it out there. Facebook, it's like I had to go sit down and create new media. I had to create video ads. I had to script those. A lot more work, but it's working. It's working. We're getting, we're actually seeing a really strong pull from Facebook right now. With that, but we had to put in the work to earn it. But we're getting a great cost per lead. We're getting about a third, 70% better cost per lead on Facebook right now. And the lead quality is actually pretty good because we just set the funnel up in a way where we make sure it's not, bot traffic, So if that gives you some hope there, I want to give hope, but I also want to say that you'll want to extend yourself on the work. And because I look at it like a Facebook, so say you only do it temporarily and it's not your long-term focus to stay on Facebook doing marketing, but you want to try to figure it out and have that as a tool in the bag. I will say if you can create really, really good assets that you can turn on during the summer months, you can use them again for the next couple of years. So it's, I wouldn't look at this as I'm doing this work just for a couple of months, I'm going to turn Google back on. I look at it this is an ace in the hole that I can use in the seasons where the search traffic is down, because it's going to happen, right?
Well, Will, with great trust comes great responsibility. Everything that you've suggested to do, I've done, and you haven't steered me wrong yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and make that happen.
All right, my man. Excited to hear, and I'm sure just like with Google, you'll probably have some advanced nuggets because you'll go deep on it, and you'll probably even be teaching me some things before too long. So good, man. I'm glad that was valuable to you and everybody else here. Hope you guys have a fantastic rest of the day and week. And if you guys, of course, need anything, jump in the school group and make a conversation of it. Hopefully you guys got some nuggets you guys can go and apply. And of course, if you have any follow-up questions, stick them in that school group. You guys have a good day. See ya. Bye. If you got value from this training, imagine having this level of support, strategy, and execution every single week. This was just one of dozens of live calls that we host inside the Big Little Gyms Pro Group, where real gym owners don't just learn, they build. If you're tired of guessing your way through ads, struggling to generate consistent leads, or you're just ready for a system that actually works, go to biglittlegyms.com and apply to work with us. When you join, you don't just get training, you get your entire lead generation engine built for you. High converting website, SEO set up to rank locally, landing pages done for you, email and SMS automations that follow up for you, and a powerful CRM to manage everything, along with the coaching and the resources you need to grow week over week. We aren't just here to put a system in place, we're here to help you build a real business. And yeah, we launch your first ad campaigns with you and get you live fast. This is the same system that over 1,400 gyms have used to grow. And if you're serious about scaling, it's your turn. Head to biglittlegyms.com to book your free discovery call. We'll map it all out for you. If it's a fit, we'll get to work together. Smash that like button, subscribe for more, and we'll see you on the other side.